Feel like you don't have time to read anymore, you're not alone. I hear this all the time, and I've been there myself. But the issue isn't time at all, it's misalignment. We want something challenging and meaningful, of course, but if we pick up something overly long or just not compelling to us for whatever reason, we often blame ourselves when we don't finish it. And that's counterproductive. We don't want that. Instead, I want to suggest some books that pull you through, that are short but intense, sometimes tough, but ultimately rewarding. Works that hit you hard and stay with you for years to come. So here are six short but rewarding reads you could tackle this weekend or even in a single sitting. Number one is Canary Row by John Steinbeck. This is one of those books that don't let its brevity fool you. It barely feels like reading, but that's just because it doesn't have a big complicated plot. You're spending time with people, real people, in a small kind of chaotic coastal town. It's a little bit eclectic in the characters, of course, as you'd expect from Steinbeck. Somehow it works. It's warm, it's human, and it flows. If you ever, just feel like reading is effort, this is a great place to start. It feels effortless, and yet it's very meaningful and very rich. Number two is Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. Now, Hesse's got some great works, but Siddhartha is a great place to start because it's super short. This one is different. It's a quiet story about a man searching for meaning, but it's really written in this rich, simple, clear way that you don't have to push through. You'll just read it slowly or all at once, but either way, it gives you something to think about, and you'll come back to this book all throughout your life. It's one of those books that fits into a calm evening, but will have you thinking for years to come. Number three here is the Critzo Sonata by Leo Tolstoy. This one goes in a different direction. It's very intense and uncomfortable. It's not an easy, simple, light read. Basically, it's a man telling you this story, like that you overhearing a story that you're not supposed to hear, right? The more you hear, the worse it gets, but it's gripping. And you just keep going. You just keep going deeper into what's going on, even though you feel like you're privy to something you really shouldn't be. Brilliantly written, as Tolstoy always is a great writer. Very short, very meaningful. Something that you'll continue thinking about after reading it, which is exactly what we're looking for here. Number four, The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. I'm a huge Kafka fan. I think his writing is brilliant. It's very engaging, very idiosyncratic, one might say. This one starts up immediately. A man wakes up, and the first thing you know is that this guy's turned into a giant insect. So, it just gets stranger from there, which is something that I don't think we expect in most novels. You do expect it in Kafka, hence the word Kafkaesque. It's short, it's weird, really pulls you in. And if you love it, you can read Kafka's other works. You could read The Trial, because it's the kind of work, you're trying to understand, and you just never will, right? There's always something more going on. This is one that I think you'll probably finish in one sitting, even if you don't intend to, just because of how gripping it is. I love this. I hope that you do as well. Number five is Notes from Underground. This one is short, but it is not easy. It's very psychological, very deep. Dostoevsky is not a writer to be trifled with lightly, or to be treaded on lightly, I should say. This feels like you're inside someone's thoughts. It's not always comfortable, right? These are, very neurotic thoughts a lot of times, as you expect from Dostoevsky, but it's powerful. And once you get into the voice, once you kind of understand what Dostoevsky's doing, where he's coming from, I find it surprisingly hard to stop reading. And I think you guys will enjoy starting here with Dostoevsky if you haven't read any of his works before, or getting back into Dostoevsky through a brief read, but meaningful read if you have. Number six, the last one here, is The Death of Ivan Ilitch. Now, this one, it might be one of the most powerful books I've read. It's about a man confronting his own life and his death, his imminent death. It's very direct, very clear. You know from the title what you're going to be reading about. It doesn't waste your time. It's something you can definitely read easily in an afternoon or, at least over a weekend, but it's something that will stay with you for a long time. Reflections, meditations on mortality, something that Tolstoy, you know, as a philosopher, really should be read. He's not just a writer, he's a great philosopher. And I think that this is a book that is highly enjoyable, highly engaging, highly meaningful, and I would highly recommend it. So sometimes even that feels like too much for some people. So there's always short stories, something like The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, A Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, A Hunger Artist if you want an even shorter work by Kafka. Or if you want something that's just a couple pages long, I can recommend Hills Like White Elephants by Ernest Hemingway. I think it's 4 or 5 pages long and it stays with you. I still think about I think about it today, or maybe A Rose for Emily is another one, that sticks with you, a Faulkner. Um, Short stories, you can read in one sitting, of course, even when you're super busy. So I think a lot of people feel like they've lost reading somewhere along the way, but usually it's still there. It's still there inside of you. You just need to find it, right? You need the right book to get back into it. And I think something short is a really good place to start. So if you want more book suggestions or ideas for books that stick with you, hit subscribe. I share new recommendations all the time. All right, take care, guys, and God bless.